Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign as Ragusa, with a little help. Our trade league is still 1, but it exists, so that's a thing. We have a new subject. We've gained a half-price trade efficiency guy. Cool, let's hire him. Sounds great. There he is. Currently paying for a missionary, so we're not making a huge amount of money. Pennsylvania wants to become a march. Tell you what, I'm gonna pull a diplomat back. I just want to consider the ramifications of this. If we did, we would lose out on 0.6 ducats a month in income because he wouldn't pay us taxes anymore. What would he get? 25% manpower, 20% manpower recovery rate, 30% force limit, reduced maintenance on his army, reduced fort maintenance, and 20% fort defense. We would still get his trade power, which means that the goods produced modifier is still going to be high from controlling the node. I think if you're going to have a march, Georgia and Transylvania are two of the best. Well, maybe not the best. Georgia's one of the best. That's actually kind of an interesting topic. What are the best march countries in the game, I wonder? Nepal, maybe? Russia? The things you value the most are, like, fort defense, military type stuff. Sometimes missionary strength is nice because it helps keep them stable. I'm trying to decide, do you think we should march him? 0.6 ducats is not a huge amount of money. I don't currently have any intention to integrate him anytime soon. And the thing about marches is, if you wanted to integrate them, you always can just revoke march status, or you can slowly seize provinces from them over time. So I kind of think it might be worthwhile. It's inland, so we don't get any benefit from it if we held it ourselves. We're not going to be able to state it if we integrated this guy, because we're already at 20 state provinces. And as a merchant republic, we can't afford to go over 20 if we want our republican tradition to be anything useful. Half my net income? Yeah, but we're paying for an expensive conversion right now. We're paying 5 ducats a month in missionary maintenance for Azov at 60% completion. And we've got an edict on, which we don't have to pay for forever. And what else is temporary? We're at full maintenance. We lost prosperity in our capital. There's a lot of little things. I think we're okay to do it. I think you say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Welcome to March status, Transylvania. You are now a permanent fixture of the Ragusan frontier. Brandenburg is selling provinces. Okay. Send our troops all to boot camp, get them all training up. Let's, if possible, I'd prefer to sell these ships to somebody. I wonder if Georgia would buy them from us. Georgia or actually Genoa also might be willing. Disloyal attitude towards Ragusa. Well, that's temporary. Next target, with that Caraman. Caraman hasn't even had the time to finish the coring of Cyprus. They migrated. Cyprus got, like, isolated from Genoa and their trade league, and then Caraman came in and killed him, and then Ottomans came in and killed him, and so now Caraman lives on Cyprus. That's where they go. Neat. What's good in marches? Thought we just talked about that. You want them to have military ideas generally. Things that make them very stable, things that make their army strong, things that make their forts cheap or more defensive. So like this guy's got defensive ideas, diplomatic ideas. He's got fort defense plus 15. That's a decent starting point. The cavalry combat ability is kind of eh. Wow, look at that leader. 645, I want one. Georgia is good because they've got fort defense plus 25, infantry combat ability plus 10. Invite Carryman to the Trade League? Yeah, I mean, if he's willing to join. Negative 16 reasons? Alright, sure, let's improve with him. That's so silly. Alright, our next war was going to be to potentially be able to integrate Croatia. Switzerland's doing a thing. What are you doing? Defender? You're a defender against Alsace? What? Alsace attacked Switzerland. The one province minor attacked the Swiss army. That feels weird. And it looks like they called Aachen in. Alsace is about to lose. And Condottieri could be really good right now. I want money. I'm poor. What if we rented them like an 11 stack? Who's the emperor? Still Austria, I believe. Yeah. Here's the Circassia just ended. So if we black flag ourselves, we could get quite a bit of cash. About 100 ducats from Switzerland. Alsace might also be willing to do it though. And since he's about to lose, it's probably better to do it with him. So let's go ahead and get ourselves black flagged by marching into the Ottomans and back. This is nice. We're finally getting to the point where we actually have like a competent stack. Here, I'm gonna pull one of these artillery over. Just take a value artillery with the 10 stack. Get black flagged. And if Alsace is about to fall, I don't think that he's going to get dead, but 79 monies versus 147 monies. All right, well, I'd rather have the monies, I guess. I don't care if the army's tied up for a while. So we'll subsidize Switzerland. Let's max this out. Take all of his cash. I want all of the cash. No trick, 74 months. I'm sorry, I missed you 12 months ago. Thank you for your sub, dude. 74 months. You are, I know, one of the longest standing supporters of the channel. That's amazing. 74 months. You've got to be like one of the very, very first people who did it. Like right when I got eligible for Twitch stuff. He'll give us 181 monies. And I could even theoretically rent more, but I don't want the subjects to become disloyal. 10 ducats a month for our army. We could send it over and actually help. Knock out Aachen. What do you think, chat? Should we help? Should we help in the war, or should we just go back to the drilling fields? Just drilling is usually... like, 10 ducats a month would be great if they actually stay rented for 18 months, but just drilling for a while is also great. And it's easy for us to get black flagged again. We just have to ask for access through the Ottomans. Let's cancel subsidies. And our general just died, so we can't drill. Guess we're gonna make this guy into a leader now. Whoa! Cipriano Balza! 2431, that's actually quite nice, but he can't be in charge of a artillery stack, so we gotta put him in charge of this stack. And then put this guy in charge of the stack, Steve Brule. Good. Arumba, does Ottomans want to help you attacking Poland? I'm not sure. Let us find out. They would come in on a promised territory, yes. So that thing that I was hoping to do, where I fight Venice, he fights Poland, is possible. Something I thought about, but didn't mention yet, is if we declare war with Poland, and we make the Ottomans fight them, and we're the war leader, and we make sure that our army is near these provinces that the Ottomans wants, and then we occupy them, then we can just keep the war going for a long time, and then white peace, Poland. Because the Ottomans won't have the things they actually want controlled by themselves, they won't be able to separate peace for Clay, and because we're the war leader, we can force him to not gain anything while weakening him because he fights a big rival, bashes his head against the wall for a while, and then we can weaken both Poland, Lithuania, and the Ottomans. So it seems counterproductive to declare a war with no intention of gaining lands, but weakening the Ottomans is a huge reason, like a huge motivator for me. Georgia is in debt. Genoa is still disloyal. Genoa has no claims over here. Ottomans desire Circassia. Muscovy would currently defend Circassia, but it's unlikely they'll do that forever. What if we went after Gazmukhna? Zinkaifa, Biapas. Oh, interesting. Ottomans want this guy's land. We could just get some favors with the Ottomans by giving them this clay. If we were the war leader, we could gain some favors and then use them against somebody else. Yeah, the Ottomans do want Georgia. It's kind of an issue. Who are Poland's allies? Venice, Brandenburg, Anhalt. And they have a loyal Lithuania. Muscovy's actually still willing to be friendly with us, even though I broke the alliance a while back. Eventually they'll attack Poland. Bum, 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 bum. Don't be giving the Ottomans ganja. What else could we do? There was this route. Attack Siena using trade superiority to fight Venice, Tuscany, and the Knights. And then we just separate peace Venice on all their alliance with Poland. The problem with trying to... Okay, this could work, actually. Oddly, Poland does have this land themselves. And the game does this weird thing where... Let's say that Muscovy desires Lithuanian land, like he does, and Poland didn't have this. If I ally Muscovy and try to call him in on a promise of territory against Poland, he'd say, no, I'm not interested in any of that land. I want Lithuania's land. Which is different than Poland's land, even though they're led by the same king and they'd be in the same war and I could totally give you that land, he would not be willing to join. But because Poland has this direct land here, we actually could call him in on a promise of territory. So yeah, we could call in Muscovy and Ottomans against Poland right now. And we could focus on the Venetians. Separate piece of the Venetians for the coastline in our capital. It's going to be quite a bit of war score and aggressive expansion to take all this clay, though. We truce with Crimea? We don't. Bitless Gazmuchich. No. Interesting. Problem is that this is part of a state, so if I take that land, it's gonna start affecting our religion, our what's it called? Republican tradition. Often it does work after you declare the war, right? And they see Lithuania beating in the war? No, they don't. They see it as the war leader is Poland, And because Poland is not the land that they want, they don't consider it. It's one of those things. It'd be so easy to fix code-wise, in my opinion. And it's just not fixed. Like, what's another frequent example? Let's see. I feel like there's something where it's like Tunis or Granada are allied to the Ottomans, and you can't call the Ottomans in on a promised territory. Like Castile will be allied to Hungary, for example. Let's say you're playing as Granada, you ally the Ottomans, you want to attack Castile, and Castile's going to call Hungary in. You're not able to call the Ottomans in on a promised territory, even if they desire Hungarian territory, and even if it's clear Hungary would be in the war. They just say, no, we don't want the land of Castile. Well, no shit, you don't want the land of Castile. I want to call you in on a promised territory of Hungary. But there's no mechanic in game that will allow you to do that. You can't call them in promising them Hungarian land. So, but you should be able to. All right, whatever. Let's just let some time pass. I don't feel like now is the right time to declare. I think we should wait and see where we're at with these guys. Maybe just improve with the Ottomans for a little bit. Besides, we have an 11 stack rented out, so now is not really the best time to be declaring offensive wars. We do have a missionary right now, so those are outrageously expensive. I am not going to do those. No. No. No, 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 no. We will wait. Calling Ottoman in for land of Naples would make more sense. Zippy! Hey man, 69 months! Nice. Ooh. Sweden has declared independence on Denmark. It's Sweden versus Denmark, Norway, Oldenburg, Bremen. Ooh, Poland, Lithuania! Supporting the independence of Sweden. Poland! Would be a shame if something were to happen and all of your troops were to go north, for example, while there's a huge army in your southern region. In your nether region. Oh, also, would be a shame if someone were to rent a huge stack to your enemy, Denmark. Aren't you glad we didn't declare war? Alright, so we want to get this army back so we can rent like a 20 stack to Denmark or... let's see, Norway's a subject, so you can't rent to subjects, but we can rent to Denmark, Oldenburg, and Bremen. Rent to Poland and declare? We can't. You can't rent condottieri to a rival. We could rent to Sweden, though, and then declare on Poland, in theory. But if we did that, then what happens is Poland... Technically, Sweden's in an offensive war. An independence deck is a offensive action. So Poland's going to look at the wars that he's in, and he's going to say, well, I'm in an offensive war with Sweden, and I'm in a defensive war with Ragusa, and they're going to focus on the defensive war. You can't rent to Lithuania, he is a subject. You cannot rent condottieri to subject nations. When can we get these condottieri back? In March. 30th of March. Not of this year, of next year, I think. Yeah. I could just rent out a 10 stack for now, just to get started. Any chance he had any mothballed forts? No. Well, Podolia was mothballed. Still got a level 1 fort. Of course I do too, but... Well, part of the reason why I want to rent a 20 stack is I don't feel safe renting a 10 stack. I think Poland could kill me. They'd trash a 10 stack if I missed their army movement. Where a 20 stack is probably safe. So... there's nothing I can do to get these condottieri back sooner. I think it's better to wait, though. Let's just be safe. Why not declare war on Poland for an easy war? I don't think it'd be an easy war if we declare war on Poland. Poland would bring in Venice, Brandenburg, and now Sweden. And like I just said, am I in an echo chamber? If I declare war on Poland, it's a defensive war. While they have a Sweden offensive war, they'll focus on their defensive war. The full might of Poland, Lithuania, and everything else is going to focus on me. They're not going to focus on Denmark. That's why we want to use Condottieri. I'm going to stop reading chat now because I feel like one of you may be... You tricking me. Tommy K Live just hosted us with 1,542 viewers. Holy smokes, thank you, sir. I don't know if I've ever seen Tommy K Live's name before. Who is Tommy K? And why is he being so nice? He's awesome. Welcome to the stream if you're just now joining. I'm assuming he's another EU4 player? Presumably. Hoi 4? Okay, cool. Just came from KK? Cool, well we're playing E4. It's a little different than Hoi 4, but still about war, conquest and stuff. Cool. Alright, well, I'm also recording locally, so real quick, I'm gonna put a small cut in. I'll see you guys back on the next episode if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, stick around on Twitch. I'll be back in a second.